Hey everybody, welcome to the Smark Tank's newly launched YouTube daily podcast. As always, I am Shannon Epstein,
And I'm Bob Black. What's going on, guys?
and we are going to be discussing some of the day's headlines, and we'll obviously go into more depth and detail on our podcast, which you can check out at smarktank.com. But right now, we're going to just go over some of the daily headlines, which cover the injuries of Bailey and Big Cass. They gave some updates on their injury, as well as a weird cryptic message from Rusev on his Twitter account. And then there's also some really, really strong rumors going on with Baron Corbin being specifically buried and targeted by John Cena. And that was brought to you by the Dirty Sheet podcast. But I think we'll start right with the injury updates. Right now, Bailey posted on her, I think on her Twitter account, that she has a separated shoulder, and she will be getting checked out in a month again to see where she is, and then she'll have a better time frame on her return. Big Cass also updated that he underwent successful surgery to repair an ACL tear in his left knee that he sustained during the Brooklyn street fight against Enzo Amore.
Right.
So, I mean, great. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll come back sooner than later.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where Bailey's character is right now anyway.
I think this break for her is going to be good. You know, it's a good break for her, for them to kind of reset her character, specifically with Asuka coming in, you know, because she's probably going to go to Raw. You know, she's not going to SmackDown. I mean, it's like she's probably going to go to Raw. I mean,
that's the other big headline that we haven't. Yeah. I don't think we discussed on the podcast that we released yesterday. Was that Asuka actually relinquished her NXT Women's title? So and that was huge news, but we just didn't get a chance to discuss it yesterday because we had recorded our podcast after that news broke. So, what do you think that means for the NXT Women's title? Is there going to be a tournament?
Well, they already have the Mae Young Classic coming. So, I mean, it probably means they're going to sign more women than they might have originally intended to sign for the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
I mean, because they have a lot of really good competitors.
Could the end prize for the final airing of the Mae Young Classic actually be the NXT Women's title? That's something that you could put on the line, because they did that with the Cruiserweight Classic. They put the Cruiserweight title and as well as the inaugural trophy. So
the Mae Young Classic final, I know, hasn't been recorded yet, so it could happen. I know they've already recorded, from what Triple H said, they already recorded like the semifinals and I think the other part of the semifinals, and they're just gonna release it like in like block sort of form, but you can watch it whenever you want.
Yeah. So maybe they'll do the Mae Young Classic on NXT and one of the takeovers.
No. Well, I know that he said he wants to do the finals, which is like the final four, like the final 6 women, their matches, and like in the final, or
I mean, it just doesn't seem fair to not have Ember Moon be in the race for the title. Like, she just basically gets cut out if they put the NXT title as like the top prize for the Mae Young Classic. So, I
mean, she might get called up.
I'm hearing that too. That there is a chance that she might get called up, but I haven't read anything strong on that rumor.
No,
but you know, it's definitely something that could be within the woodwork, or at least they'll try to transition her out, same way they're doing with Bobby Roode. I don't know if it's necessarily the right time to lose Ember Moon and Bobby Roode. I feel like they should kind of be a little bit more sparing with letting their talent go, because every time they call up talent, it kind of kills the brand just a little bit more.
I mean, at this point, I feel like if they're gonna push Ember on WWE NXT, you know, they would have put her over against Asuka, because that was the perfect time for you to do it. Because that match was killer. It was a killer match.
Rusev sent out a tweet and he says, "I want to thank the WWE front office, TR, and everybody involved. Thank you." And I don't know. It's just a little weird with the whole him asking for his release. You know. Meanwhile, everybody is now reporting that there is no truth to his release.
Right. Right.
And then in the same vein of weird tweets, John Cena wrote on his Twitter, "Good to see all is back to #internet normal. I'm the root of all at WWE evil again and smothered in disgruntled negativity. Keeps me strong and smiling emoji face."
Right.
And meanwhile, there's a bunch of stuff that apparently the Dirty Sheet reported Baron Corbin has a terrible attitude and a misperception of his place in the company.
Yeah.
And then he said at the pay-per-view during SummerSlam, "None of this is about you," while they were chanting, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." He said, "None of this is about you," basically saying, like, they only care about him. They don't care about Baron. You ain't done shit here, and you don't know what it's like.
Right.
And also, allegedly, Baron Corbin was throwing a hissy fit after his match at SummerSlam, which obviously did him no favors. And that was reported by the Dirty Sheet podcast.
Yeah.
I think Cena strikes again, personally, but I don't know. I don't really know anything. Neither do they. You know what I mean?
You think Cena's burying Corbin? I think Corbin's probably burying himself.
But Cena is definitely
Cena
helping.
It's like Cena, the hammer of dawn, so to speak, that it's like crashing down upon Baron Corbin's career. Sure, maybe.
I think he might be the nail rather than the hammer.
Yeah, I mean,
one nail closing the Baron coffin,
sure,
if you will.
Sure.
And
I mean, but
my
Baron,
New York accent.
Yeah, but Baron Corbin did it to himself. Baron Corbin's been very, very, very loose with his talk on Twitter, insulting veterans, insulting Dave Meltzer of all people, for no reason, just because he felt like he could. And
I mean, he technically can. It just won't get him over.
Yeah.
And there's only one real manager you have to impress, and that guy is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon obviously saw something in him at one point, and then saw him basically fall from grace in the same breath.
I mean, when
that push didn't even start really before it started being taken away from him.
It felt like it was a quasi push to begin with. Like, it felt like that whole Baron Corbin push.
Well, whenever they give you the Money in the Bank, it's kind of like, all right, here's your time to prove that you can take direction.
Yeah, essentially.
And that's essentially what Seth Rollins and Sheamus and all of those guys did, is they took the direction well, which is why when it came time to cash in the title, they became the WWE champion.
Sure.
And, you know, people who lose that briefcase, which is a very select few people, probably didn't deserve to really have it in the first place, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's a big honor to be the champion, even if you are a transitional champion for 5 minutes. Sure. I think it's a huge honor. You know?
I would say, I don't know what happened with Damien Sandow. I would say that he might be the one exception I would give to the person losing the briefcase, you know. Right.
Damien Sandow probably did deserve it, but at the same time, they probably didn't see it.
Yeah, he deserved the push. If only because they saddled him with a bunch of terrible gimmicks. Again and again.
Every time.
And
he
made it work.
Release that guy.
Yeah, and he made it work every time. And I was like, you know, this guy. I don't know what.
He actually was special, and they let Damien Sandow go.
Yeah, I don't know what he did to piss off.
He got over without them allowing him to get over. That's what pissed them off.
You think that's what it was?
I don't know, but you know, it seems like when people get over on their own, aka Zack Ryder, The Miz, even, you know what I mean? These people, like The Miz, got over on his own with his promos. Zack Ryder got over on his own with his YouTube series. Damien Sandow got over on his own by just making the gimmick fucking work.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, like basically the Brooklyn crowd was what got him over that night.
Sure.
That he was at Raw and they started chanting, "We want Mizdow. Mizdow's better." You know, to the Miz to kind of piss the Miz off, and he wasn't supposed to get over, but he did get over. And then basically because the Brooklyn crowd did it, the other crowds kind of followed suit. Same way with the Beach Balls, that might make a comeback, which is probably why WWE banned it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, with those veins of talking points, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but I think Corbin probably deserves. I mean, like sometimes you have a tragedy, like or like the unfortunate circumstance, like you had Mr. Kennedy, who got injured, and they took the briefcase off of him and gave it to Edge, and then they found out like later like the injury wasn't even that bad.
Right.
And that he would have been back in time to use the briefcase. And
it's the same thing that happened with Naomi as well, too. With her relinquishing the championship. Same thing with Asuka. I think Asuka's only going to be on 6 to 8 weeks. Like, left the title on her for 6 to 8 weeks.
I think,
let Brock Lesnar go 6 to 8 weeks without defending just because of his contractual obligations.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have him of the title for the no compete clause, too. So
that's fair. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think they've been Vince has wanted Asuka on the main roster for like years.
It's just money. That's all.
Yeah, if we're supposed to be believed, and like H has been the one that's been like, no, Asuka's NXT. We need Asuka NXT.
He's not wrong. Like is somebody who was propelling the brand. Like if she didn't get injured, she would have had the longest title streak in like WWE history or some bullshit. I mean, the longest title streak is like Bruno Sammartino, but I mean like modern WWE, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, I think that's all we have time for. We'll talk to our YouTube audience tomorrow Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll try to report if there's news. We'll put it on YouTube. We'll talk about it. We'll comment on it. And if there isn't news, then we'll just wait till the next day. But we will be putting out more content on our YouTube channel, so keep subscribing, liking, commenting, and keep following us at the Smark Team.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, and have a great day.
All right, night, guys.